what I'd like to do is to, and I still have more questions, but I want to bring on yet another community member, and her name is Ann Buchanan. And Ann, if you are here, I'm going to be unmuting you here in a second, so prepare yourself. But what I wanted to do, speaking of audiobooks, is I wanted to bring on Ann, because Ann put out this book called The Power of God's Words for Healing. And the reason I wanted to bring her on is because she demonstrated a level of perseverance which I really applaud, I commend, and I want to hold her up as an example of somebody that just doggedly stuck to it until she got to her goal. And that was with doing this book here, The Power of God's Word for Healing. By the way, the place, and we're going to do another deal here, by the way, because I'm going to ask you to go and buy this book, all right? Or excuse me, this audiobook. And the place to do that, by the way, is here at bit.ly / God Heals You, right? And Anthony, if you can get that link into the chat area so folks can go grab this. By the way, I will be giving you an incentive for doing this in just a second, so there's really good reasons to go grab this, even if you're not a Christian, okay? You don't have to listen to it, but you can get the great deal that we're going to be making here. Okay, so, and by the way, I don't get anything out of it, just so that we're clear. It's not an affiliate link. It's nothing like that. I just want to help Ann. All right, so Ann, let me find you here, and I'm going to be bringing you and unmuting you here, and hopefully we will have you come on. Hello, Ann. Are you there?
I'm here, Daniel.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay! Okay, so Ann, could you tell folks about the story of your publishing The Power of God's Word for Healing as an audiobook?
Sure, I'll be glad to. I began with doing it as a Kindle book and on CreateSpace, and that process had its own little ups and downs, but basically proceeded fairly well. This was a series of 4. There are 4 books in this series, and I decided I would start with the first one, which is this one, as an audiobook. So I took your class, the Real Fast Audiobook course, found it a little more challenging for actually doing all of the recording. There are 70 devotions, so a normal book, of course, might have 10 chapters. Well, I had 70 plus the preface, plus the ending, plus the beginning. I had 73 different files that I was working with, which really, I kind of dove in the deep water instead of starting with something a little simpler. But I did get all of the recording done and then submitted my files to ACX, and lo and behold, they rejected them. And sent me, the first thing they said was that the kind of stereo they were listed as joint stereo, which did not meet their requirements. But so I called them. They are very nice people at ACX, really nice staff people there. And the guy said, well, I see from he pulled up the record, he said, well, it's not just the joint stereo that's the problem. There are a lot of other issues. And I turned white. He couldn't see me, of course, on the other end of the phone. And he said, and he started rattling off all these decibel levels and all kinds of technical information that my file didn't meet. So I went on our Facebook group, and I immediately beseeched everybody, said, help. You know, I was so overwhelmed by all of the technical data And I tell you, Daniel, if we didn't have that group, how important that group is and how important your help is. I could never have gotten this audiobook done if I hadn't had your course that took me step by step by step, and then all of this subsequent help when it turned out that ACX had changed, apparently fairly recently, all of their requirements, because as they were getting more and more books, then they're upping the level of the quality that they want for those books. And the new videos that you've put online now in that class are awesome, and they're perfect. You know, I went through them again, and it's just step by step, right exactly. And once I followed those steps and fixed all of my 73 files and uploaded them yet again, they passed, and the guy said, "These are really nice looking files." And so it was approved very quickly, within like a couple of days. It was really, really fast.
Okay, well, great, and thank you for sharing that story, because I think it's demonstrative of what it takes to be successful when you do this sort of thing, and that is, although that you are essentially, you know, very, very discouraged and despondent that your files had been rejected. What had happened, folks, so we're clear, when I first did the Real Fast Audiobook program, I went by their then current specs, their specifications on what the audio files needed to look like, and subsequent to that, as Ann said, they made it slightly more difficult, and it really was two different little things that we had to tick off to fix the files and re-upload them. So in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that big of a deal. But when you don't know, like Ann, you know, you don't know what to do, and people are speaking at you in essentially, you know, a language you don't understand, jargon, right?
Right.
Then you are, you know, it's. But that's one of the things I wanted to say. So anyway, I've updated all that, and we got Ann going. But that's the point I want each and every one of you to take from this story and Ann's experience. Because Ann demonstrated, you know, even though she was crying, even though she was upset, she did what it took to reach out. Number one, she reached out, and she was pleasant. You know, you could tell she was frustrated, but she was pleasant and not, you know, rattling her cage or you know, or being mean or anything like that. She just say, "Hey, I need some help," and which is another thing I want folks to again take away. If you're asking folks for help, you know, don't be mean about it, obviously. Be nice about it, because, yeah, things change. This is an imperfect world, and it will continue to be imperfect, and there's nothing any of us can do about that except approach it in a very, very positive, open way, which Ann did. So I wanted to basically highlight this book because of that story, and then also I want folks to literally go buy it, and go buy it right now, or whenever you listen to it. At this is the web address, bit.ly at God Heals You. Okay, and when you do, I've got something for you. There's a brand new report, another report. This is different from the other one that we're publishing. Again, this is another one that we have not put out for sale yet. It's called 5 Ways to Turn a $7 Report into a $197 Order. And this is going to be a $27 product. So if you go back here, you can get, you know, you can basically get this for $14.95, And then once you do that, let me show you the path. This is what you do. To claim your bonus, you're going to go over here to our support site at greatproductsupport.com, copy and paste your receipt into the ticket system, and then we're going to send your report. Okay, so that's the way we're taking care of that bonus. And again, thank you for doing it and being as committed to getting the book out and actually getting it out. And by the way, I've listened to a part of it, and it's really well done. And I would actually, if I were you, even if you're kind of on the fence about it, just go listen to. Anne has, because she was following my teaching, she's got a wonderful, if I go back here one, hold on, let me see if I can get there. I go back one here. She's got a wonderful sample, and you could actually listen to about 4 minutes of sample, 3.5, 4 minutes under the book. Go to this web address and you just listen to it. She tells a very, very compelling story just right there. You can kind of get a taste of flavor for the book, and as you can see, lots and lots of great material there. So yes, please do go grab this very, very special book at bit.ly at God Heals You. Okay? All right. So, all right, Anne, so thank you. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we move it on?
Well, I certainly just want to thank you, Daniel, for having me on and for helping me out here. And I want to encourage everybody, don't give up when you hit an obstacle. Daniel is one of the most responsive people ever. He really is. And just let him know what the issue is, and all of this new video. I'm not a super techie person. I think there are a lot of people out there who write and who want to write, and then when confronted with this universe of how to sell it, how to market it, when you're talking videos, you're talking audios, you're talking websites, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and can seem really overwhelming.
It is.
I just turned 69, and I feel like if I can do it, anybody can do it. And with the step-by-step help that Daniel provides, it makes it possible. It really does make it possible. Just don't give up and keep going.
Keep on trucking. Thank you so much for saying that. And you say something here that I want. It's a message I want to communicate to everyone listening, either now or later. And that is, this is a huge universe of things that you can do, right? And the point is, and I want to make sure that we're all very clear on this point, I don't expect you to do it all. In fact, I only expect you to do one thing. Okay, one thing, whatever that thing happens to be for you, right? It could be working the Amazon FBA program, right? It could be that. But I want you to get really good at that before you go on to something else. Or it could be publishing audiobooks, okay? Or it could be some other marketing aspect. Could be just working on list building. But the key point I want everyone to understand is that if you focused on just one thing and keep focusing on just one thing until you have it, and then once you do have it, allow yourself to direct your focus to something related. One of the things that you will learn is that what you went through in first instance actually is a good foundation for the next thing that you do, so that the next thing you sort of add to the mix is easier. Not easy necessarily, but easier, because you already have a foundation laid, right? So really, that's really important. And then you master that, whatever that new thing is, and not allow yourself to be distracted away from that, and so forth, until pretty soon, after a year or two, you've got a really good skill set built up on actually succeeding in marketing your stuff and getting your message out into the world. All right, so thank you for that, Ann. I really appreciate that, and thank you for allowing me to highlight that. And again, the place where you go to grab Ann's book is right over here, and it's at bit.ly/God Heals You. Okay, and then when you grab that, you're going and send your receipt. You're going to get 5 ways to turn a $7 report into a $197 order. Great stuff in this one, by the way. And this is how you claim it. All right. Okay, cool.